Lab 2.3 has a lot of new concepts and ideas in it that I'd like to go over to help you out completing this lab. So this lab has you making sort of a game where a user can input the number of sides that are in a shape, and the computer will tell back to the person what the name of that shape is. So if the person inputs the number 4, the computer will respond, well, that makes a quadrilateral. If the person puts in the number 6, the computer will tell you that a hexagon is the name of the shape with 6 sides. So a lot of new concepts in here that I'd like to go over, and I'm going to make a kind of similar game using some animals instead of shapes. So that way I don't really give you the answer. You can reapply what I do here with the shapes. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the ask and wait block. This is in the sensing category. And so what the ask and wait block does is it asks the user a question, it waits for them to provide a response, and then it saves that response in, we'll call it a variable called answer. And I can actually click the box and see what the user types in as their answer. And right now it's blank. So let's just say, for example, I could create a quick little program that when the flag is clicked, the computer, or at least the sprite anyway, is going to ask the user, what is your name? It's going to wait for a response, and then the user can type in their name, and maybe I want to do something with that name. So maybe I'll have it, we can have it say, and maybe it's going to say, hello, and then we'll input the user's answer. So it will say hello, whatever name they type in. So let's give it a try. I'll click the flag. It asks, what's your name? And it waits. I'm going to put in Mr. Massey. And once I hit enter, it'll respond by saying, hello, Mr. Massey, for 2 seconds. Hello, Mr. Massey. So that's a quick, easy program that we can use to get someone's response. One thing that I should say is that you can only save one answer at a time. So right now the answer is still saved as Mr. Massey. So I could actually say, hello, Mr. Massey, because that is still saved in the answer variable. But if I go ahead and ask, maybe I go ahead and ask a different question. If I can stop clicking the flag. What is your favorite color? If I go ahead and ask that, I put in blue. You'll see that the answer is now blue, so I can no longer say, hello, Mr. Massey. I'm saying hello, blue. So you can only save one answer at a time. So just keep that in mind as you build your programs. So that's one piece of this lab, 2.3 is being able to ask questions and then save the responses to do something with them later. The other thing that Lab 2.3 introduces you is something called a conditional statement. And all a conditional statement is what we call an if-then statement. And so the way that an if-then statement works is the if part of a statement only runs if the statement is true. So let's say, for example, we want to write a program that says, is your favorite color blue? And wait, so the person's going to input their favorite color. And then maybe we have an if statement that says, well, if the user chooses the color blue, we'll say, that's my favorite color too. So let's actually do that. Let's go to the looks block and say, that is my favorite color too. So we only want to say, that is my favorite color if the user has answered that their favorite color is blue. So now we need to set up a little conditional statement here after the if. So if let's say the person's answer is equal to blue if the person's answer is blue. Say that that's my favorite color too. So let's try it. We type in blue. That's my favorite color too. And you can see the reason why that works is because answer is blue. Is answer equal to blue? If answer is equal to blue, say that's my favorite color too. If we put in a different color, let's say red, well now answer is not equal to blue. Answer is not blue, it's red, so we're not going to say that. So right now our program only works if the person answers with the answer blue. If their answer is anything else, our program doesn't do anything else. It only says that's my favorite color too, is if they pick blue. But people will be typing in lots of different colors. So we could change this code so if they don't type in blue, they get something else. And to do that, we use something called an if-else statement. What an if-else statement does is it checks to see if a certain statement is true. If that statement is true, it does the first thing. If that statement isn't true, but it's false, it does something else. So let's take a look at what that could look like. Maybe, for example, we ask, is your favorite color blue? If the person answers with the color blue, so if the variable answer is equal to the color blue, we'll say, that's my favorite color too. But let's say they pick a different color. Maybe we want them to say, that's cool. Or maybe we'll have them say, actually, I got something good here. Maybe we'll have it go something like this. We'll have it say, and then whatever they pick for an answer. So maybe we say, is your favorite color? Mine is blue. You should have picked blue too. So this way, if they pick the answer blue, we'll say that's my favorite color too. If they pick anything that isn't blue, we're going to say whatever color they picked is your favorite color. Mine is blue. You should have picked blue too. So let's try this out. Let's try it out, and let's try it out with the first statement. So if they answer blue, let's see what happens. So I'm going to answer blue. That's my favorite color too. Okay, well what happens if we pick something that's not blue? So let's say now answer is going to be equal to red. So answer will not be equal to blue. Let's say red is your favorite color. Mine is blue. You should have picked blue too. And we'll get that to stay on the screen for a few more seconds. So let's say they pick yellow. Yellow is your favorite color? Mine is blue. You should have picked blue too. So that's a quick, easy way that you can check to see if a certain variable is equal to something and then do something based on that. And in this case, so we're asking a question, and based on the answer to that question, if it's equal to something, we do something. If it's not equal to something, we do something else. We can also use these operators here, these equal. We also have equal to, greater than, less than. So we could make a quick game with numbers, right? So maybe we say pick a number 1 through 10. And then let's say their answer. Let's say their answer is greater than 4. We could say you picked a number that is 5 or bigger. So if they pick a number that's greater than 4, we know they either picked 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. And let's say that they picked a number that wasn't greater than 4. We can just say, you picked a number that is less than 5. And let's give this little program a try. So pick a number 1 through 10, and if I pick, let's say, 7, well, 7 is greater than 4, so it's going to say, you picked a number that is 5 or bigger. And then we could do this again. Pick a number 1 through 10, maybe I pick 2. 2 is not greater than 4, so instead it's going to say, you picked a number less than 5. You picked a number less than 5. So we can use these operator blocks to test anything about our variables or about the answers that we're receiving. So as you kind of go around and start playing with these if-else statements, you'll start to want to make more complicated programs with them. And one thing that you could start to do is, just like loops, we can nest if-else statements. So let me show you how this kind of works. I'm going to explain it this way. If I add another, let's add a think block so we can see the difference between a say and a think block. The way that if-else statements work is that if the first statement is true, answer is less than 4, it will say you picked a number that is 5 or bigger. If it says you picked a number that is 5 or bigger, it will exit the if-else statement. So once it finds a statement that's true, in this case it's the first statement, if your number is less than 4, it says this and then it doesn't do the other thing. It only does the other thing if the first thing wasn't true. So once I say if answer is greater than, if answer is greater than 4, so let's pick a number that is greater than 4, let's pick 6. It's going to say you picked a number that is 5 or bigger. It's going to ignore the second statement, the else statement, and then continue on with the script running think for 2 seconds. So you picked a number that is 5 or bigger. So if else statements, we use the term they get exited once something is true. So if the answer is greater than 4, we'll say this, and then we'll just skip on to the next thing after. However, if the answer is not greater than 4, then we'll go to whatever the else statement is. So we can use this sort of logic to start nesting if-else statements. And this gets pretty cool and pretty fun. So let's say, and in this case, I'm going to start with a game. Build a little game using the dog, cat, and beetle I have on the screen. So the first thing I want to do is I want the user to pick one of these 3 animals. And I'm not even going to ask them for which animal they pick, because I'm going to have the computer play a little game where it tries to guess. So I'm just going to have it say, choose one of the animals displayed on the screen, and remember which one you picked. And let's display this for a few seconds. So I'm going to have the user just pick one of these off the top of their head, and then from there I want the computer to ask them a question about their animal and see if it can guess which one. So maybe the first question I want to ask is, does your animal have 4 legs? So the first thing I know is that if I ask, does your animal have 4 legs? If they pick no, I know right away that their answer is the beetle. So I can do this. If their answer is equal to no, I can have the computer say, you picked the beetle. So let's go ahead and write that really quick. So if, let's see here, I need the operator. If their answer is equal to no, say your animal is the beetle. So let's go ahead and say choose one of the animals displayed on the screen and remember which one you picked. Does your animal have 4 legs? No. Your animal is the beetle. So that's good so far. But what happens if they pick yes? Well, if they pick yes, it's going to go to this else statement. When it goes here, I know that their animal is either going to be the dog or the cat. So let's see if I can figure out which one by asking a second question. So maybe I can ask, is the animal you picked blue? So now I know that if they say yes to that, they pick the dog, and if they say no to that, they picked out the cat. And I know it's not the beetle because they already said yes, their animal has 4 legs. So if your 4-legged animal is blue, you're the dog, otherwise you're the cat. Well, you can see that this is just another if-else statement. So I can go ahead and grab an if-else statement, and now within this, right, nested, I can go if, and we need an operator block here, if their answer is yes to being blue, I can now say your animal is the dog. Otherwise, well, if their 4-legged animal isn't blue, I know they must have picked the cat. So your animal, if I could stop clicking that, your animal is the cat. And so now I can go through this. So the first one, pick one of them. Does it have 4 legs? Remember, if I say no, it knows right away that your animal is the beetle, and then it exits the loop. However, if I pick yes, yes, it has 4 legs, then it's going to go to the else statement and ask, is the animal you picked blue? If I pick yes to that, it will say your animal is the dog. Your animal is the dog. However, if I play it again, I pick yes, it has 4 legs, so it's either the cat or dog. Is the animal you picked blue? No, your animal is the cat. So you can see all I did here was nest an if-else statement within an else statement. So if my animal is the beetle, if my answer is no to the first question, my animal is the beetle. Otherwise, it's the cat or dog. Let's figure it out by asking, is the animal you picked blue? If yes, it's the dog. No, it's the cat. And so you can see that anytime I answer one of these questions right, it exits the statement. So if I answer no to the first one, it exits. Otherwise, it goes to this else statement. If I answer yes to this, it says this and exits. Or if not, it says this and then exits. So this is a nested if-else statement using these conditionals.